So I'm Heather Horst. I'm the current director of the Institute, and I've been at ICS since February 3rd, 2020, so a month before the pandemic. Well, as I mentioned, I did start in February 2020, so at the very beginning. We started the first session we had was about bushfires and the recovery from the bushfires, and then we moved to pandemic. So the key events and the key kind of activities that I really value have been the things where we've actually come together in person, and those have been a sort of rarity in my first 2 years. So I think one of my favorite events was actually the HDR graduation in June 2021. Where we had about 8 or 9 HDR candidates come for afternoon tea, and it was really quite touching to hear both the kind of speeches from their supervisors, which were very personalized about the progress, to see their family, their kids. In particular, I remember Jasvir's daughter dressed up in I think it was a pink princess outfit, and that was really very proud of her dad. So that was one of the sort of more kind of touching moments it was really one of the first times in a long time that we really had a sense of ICS kind of coming together. And of course that was followed by the event honoring the work of Tony Bennett and the kind of Cultural Fields Project, and that was really quite spectacular. In particular, David Rowe's speech, farewell to Tony, to the tune of REM's "It's the End of the World as We Know It." So those are some of my kind of favorite ICS moments. So the next 10 years, I think, one of the things, we have so many people who really built the Institute and are sort of looking, to the horizon towards other parts of their sort of life. And so one of the things that we've really kind of benefited from in the past 2 to 3 years are a new group of early career researchers who have really come in, and they're doing amazing work, from work on sort of climate change, synthetic biology, work on museums and cultural infrastructures, just so much kind of exciting work that we're really starting to see the kind of principles of ICS, the collegiality, the care, the kind of sense of community, really kind of emerging in this new generation of scholars. So I think the topics that we're looking at are really moving in different directions. I'm really excited about that. And I think there is a sort of new generation that's really sort of taking up the kind of governance and leadership and all of that sort of exciting activity. So I think, what we'll be studying in 10 years, I have no idea. But I think the kind of work of the Institute, that sort of sense of community that's been there really since the Center for Cultural Research, almost 20 years ago, really sort of continues to sort of evolve and develop. Well, I think I forgot to mention a few other favorite moments. One, while we were sort of locked down in our homes during the pandemic, I really liked the kind of sharing of sort of photos from people's sort of lives. But in particular, I had a great deal of fun working with Juan Salazar on ICS Radio, and really getting to kind of interview people about other aspects of their lives. Some people talked about more kind of academic dimensions of their lives and the way in which that sort of segued with their kind of musical interests and tastes, and other things. We just discovered so many interesting things about people's lives, people who had been DJs in former lives, people who had, been on, the kind of Indian version of Star Search in their childhoods, classical musicians, a whole range of really kind of interesting things. And that, again, that sort of sense, I think it was quite fun to do, but it was a real sort of sense of ICS as a kind of community, at least I think for Juan and I kind of doing that work.